gambarannya seperti itu yang gambaran dari kami adalah metodenya, karena area kami di sini untuk wifi belum semua cepat untuk dari mana. Itu yang pertama. Untuk yang kedua, untuk membantu proses cara belajar sangat membantu sekali di sini karena kita selain tatap muka dengan dosen, dengan waktu ini kita lebih awal mempersiapkan materi sebelum ketemu sama dosen. Jadi ketika ketemu sama dosen kita sudah punya bahan untuk yang dibicarakan di topik kelas tadi. Terima kasih.
So she has difficulties because I usually set the due date for assignments. So the thing is that our networking system is not really good. So not everybody can go Wi-Fi or good internet connection. So so I said the due time is 11:58 p.m. So that time sometimes the internet connection is not really good, so it's become overdue. And then she said that secondly she said that there is a very nice preparation when we use the Google Classroom. So she has more preparation before she see me as a lecturer. So she has a discussion material to have before the class.
So I think that's one of the things now happening, and it's really becoming more like that. I think a lot of you are communicating online. Who's on Facebook? No Facebook. Who's on Twitter? No Twitter? Instagram? Yes! Okay, you're all on Instagram. LinkedIn? Not much. For professionals, if you want to catch up with a lot of professional content, I think LinkedIn would be best for you to explore. Especially if you're looking for a job, LinkedIn has more opportunities for you to check out. Before we start, if you want to catch up with me, scan the QR code, or you can drop me an email if you have any questions after this presentation. So currently, I teach at 2 universities, both government universities in the Philippines. I teach at the Faculty of Nursing at the University of Manila for the undergraduate program. And I teach at the University of the Philippines, Manila, under the Faculty of Medicine for the Master of Science in Health Informatics. And then I'm also doing coaching sessions using Clifton Strengths. So I'm a Gallup certified strengths coach. And I'm also doing ISO audits. I'm an ISO auditor, so if you're familiar with it. Okay, so we are the ones who look for companies and audit them. Like yesterday you had audit, so those things I also do. Now, who amongst you here watch Kamen Rider? Especially the younger ones. Let's show some clip of the current Kamen Rider series, Kamen Rider 01. So this might be something that would make you think about the future of nursing.
Saya pikir rasanya udah kesana loh. 番の目的だったのです。
次のことあります。
お見事先生。病院から呼びされている救済犬の数がどこよりも多いのがその証拠です。
人工知能が人の命を救う。
すっごい時代だな。
So, do you envision a future like this? With the era of technology, this is something possible? Possible. So, we're entering a new era. That's why we're talking about Industrial Revolution 4.0. So, with advancement in technology, so the question would always be, will nursing still be relevant in the future? So, that's one thing we will talk about for today. So, first, let's talk about nursing in the digital economy. So, how many of you have accounts on digital banks? Not yet. You still use traditional banks? Who has GoPay?
Yes.
Okay, then you use some form of e-money. I think there's another one, right? Aside from GoPay, like, I cannot remember what it's called. Okay.
News.
Yeah. Okay, so let's just look at the timelines. So with the rise of the digital economy, so we started, just click it. Press.
Great.
Yeah. There. Okay, so in the rise of the digital economy, basically we are seeing that 10,000 years ago, we started with the agrarian revolution, and then somewhat in the 1760s, we have encountered the first industrial revolution, where we had the mechanized form of equipment of production. The second industrial revolution runs around 1890s, where we had the rise of electricity in manufacturing. The third industrial revolution in 1960s was when we had the semiconductors and computers introduced. And now we're entering the fourth industrial revolution. So one of the key features are breakthrough in digital, physical, and biological realm. So there are a lot of things going on. And what would be the main idea behind the fourth industrial revolution? So the first one is the unprecedented breadth and depth, meaning it spans wide and yet it spans deep. Okay, so those are two things happening now. And you can actually learn more about this when you encounter artificial intelligence. So there's a wide span of knowledge, but it's not just wide, it's also very deep. Same is true with the accelerating pace of change. Now this is what differs significantly the third industrial revolution compared to the fourth industrial revolution. Like everything now, when you click enter, it appears, right? So that's how it is different from then. Like when you click the internet now, it's very fast. And wait until 5G comes in. You've heard about 5G? Like now you run around, say, megabytes in terms of download speed. But when we go with 5G, it's now gigabytes per second. Right? So your data will run very fast. Will be spent up very fast, right? But things will change. And as we speak, there are actually a lot of PhDs being produced as of 1998, but it increased already to 266,000 PhDs in 2014 in our OECD countries, and it will continue to grow even at a faster rate. So the body of knowledge being generated becomes more wide, it is actually becoming more deep, and it is becoming fast in terms of changes. So I'm not sure if you can actually read it from afar, but basically let's just define what a profession is. Okay? So that we are on the same language when we talk about nursing as a profession. So when we talk about a profession, basically it is a discipline It adheres to ethical standards. Earlier, you talked about ethics. It possesses a special knowledge and skills. So it's something that you don't just get somebody from the streets, teach that person the concepts, and he can do it. So if you get somebody from the streets, teach him what you know, and he can do it, then that's not a profession, because anybody can just do it. Prepared to apply your knowledge and skills, basically in the interest of others. So you have a customer. So in nursing, who will be your customers? Can be individuals, can be families, can be communities, or can be population groups. So special set of people. Also, you have behavior and practice beyond personal moral obligations. So part of the ethics is that you do things for a higher good. Okay? So especially in nursing, you have promotion, health promotion, disease prevention, curation, and rehabilitation. But nursing is more focused on health promotion and disease prevention, because medicine is more focused on curative and rehabilitative. Okay? So you have to encourage people not to get sick as a nurse. Okay? If you wait for the person to get sick, then you're not really using your nursing in the independent function. Because when they're already sick, you have to depend to your physicians for prescription and diagnosis. Okay? Also, services provided to the public is something that is present in a profession. It is enforced, these codes of ethics are enforced by the profession and accepted by the community. So there is that mutual acceptance between the person as a professional and the community as the one receiving the service. Okay? Some of the things that you have to also be aware of is the driving innovations in health and healthcare. So that includes unsustainable rise of costs, meaning as we go on more technology innovations, then it becomes more expensive. So that's one. Also, the digitalization of health and healthcare. Who has an Apple Watch? Or
Apple Watch na lang.
what do you call the one for Samsung?
Ako ano?
Galaxy Watch.
Android Watch.
Yeah? Who has a Galaxy Watch? No, just a regular watch. If you use those kinds of watch, they can actually get your health data, right? Can get your vital signs. I think Apple Watch can get your ECG, right? So interesting days. And rapid evolution of science and medicine. So we're now talking
I
about
don't have.
nanotechnology,
Traditional
implantation
watch.
of chips for monitoring of health, and things like that. So these are things happening as we speak. Now, alongside, one of the tools I would like you to be familiar with in the fourth industrial revolution is the use of hype cycle. So hype cycle is a research produced by Gartner, so you can actually Google them later. And it produces a lot of the studies on what is the most apt technology for the year. So for instance, in 2019, they already produced a lot of the technologies that they forecast that will happen in 2019. And true enough, one of the technologies they actually predicted is transfer learning. Transfer learning is a subset of machine learning, which is a subset of artificial intelligence. So what is transfer learning? With machine learning, you have a machine, you teach the machine to learn, okay? Recognize a lot of data sets. If you have another machine, in the traditional sense, you have to teach again the same data sets. With transfer learning, they're actually passing on what one machine has learned to another machine without feeding data. Okay, so that's where they are already. So they're trying to create technologies where one machine will learn from another machine who has already learned all of the data sets without the need of feeding all information from scratch. And it is actually happening now in 2019. So also, Gartner has produced the emerging technologies as part of its prediction. So part of it is the sensing and mobility. So we have a lot of the technologies, including the 3D sensing cameras in the US. I think in Asia, in general, we're backlogged by about 10 to 20 years in terms of technologies. In some technologies. In some we can adopt early, but a lot, we are really backlogged by quite some years. Also, augmented human is already being talked about. Digital ecosystems, I think this is something we are more really coming into. Post-classical compute and comms, so 5G is something being talked about. Advanced AI and analytics is also something that we're not yet there as much, but we're going there. So for education, this is a sample of the hype cycle. So same and true, we have already been talking since 2016 about mobile learning smartphones. So I think now you're starting to adapt some of them. We have also been talking about gamification, although gamification has already died in the current set of your hype cycle. So not many people are talking about gamification anymore, and among such. So currently, just to give some perspective of how and where we are right now, we have current nursing pathways. And I think these are also the same pathways that you have, right? So when you graduate, you have the option of going to, of course, the traditional is clinical. So you become up until a nurse practitioner, or a director of nursing, or a chief nurse. Or you can go with education and become an education facilitator, the one who does the education in the field, not in the school. The research track is the one that's normally seen in schools, so you become a professor of nursing. And with management, you become an executive, so you hold an executive position. And as we speak, a lot of data is being produced. So I'm not sure if you have even encountered the term exabytes. 1 exabyte is 1 billion gigabytes. That is how much data we have right now being generated. And at the current digital economy in the 4th Industrial Revolution, the new oil will actually be data, right? A lot of the businesses are willing to pay for your data because they can actually analyze your data and earn from it. So while you are actually using your social media apps, don't you notice that the ads tailor fit to your taste? Like the ads that you see, these are the same things you actually are interested on. So a lot of the technology companies analyze what you click, what you like, what you heart, what are the pictures that you actually select, and these are part of these exabytes. Including if what you search, what you're interested in, what you normally buy, like who bought a lot of things in 11/11. No one wants to tell who bought what. Okay. So let's try now to talk about having that basic background on where we are right now in nursing. How do we see the future of nursing? Okay. Do you see the future that you watched earlier? So it's something that we will explore. So currently, there are actually innovations already that compares artificial versus human intelligence. And the key item is that the performance levels of artificial intelligence is actually starting to cross at some point. So you can see the line here, this is the human intelligence. AI back then, in the early stages, was behind human intelligence. But we are actually forecasting that in the future, AI will precede human intelligence. Do you believe that? Is that scary? Scary, right? The robots are smarter than the humans. Okay, but that is a possible future for all of us. And in the Philippines, I'm now presenting some examples of what's happening now. In the Philippines, a company, a private health insurance company, who has also service delivery, created this booth. So this booth, they call a health pod. Okay, they call it a health pod. What this does is, it's more on assessment, diagnosing, planning, intervention, and evaluation. Why? When a patient goes there, the patient inserts his or her arm in this machine over here. And this machine over here is a PP apparatus, a sphygmomanometer. So on his own, the PP measures are taken up and thrown by the computer towards the provider. Same is true with, I think there's also a temperature machine that is there at the back of this machine, and he just puts it on his ear and then, or scans it in front of the forehead, and that data again gets thrown to the practitioner. The TV and the headset that you see in front is used for telemedicine. So the person sitting here will be communicating with his or her physician in front of this computer. So there's no need for a nurse. That's a problem. Because everything can be done with this machine. You see? I'm trying now to give you some ideas on why you need to really stay relevant with your practice, because there are already innovations that might eliminate the need for a nurse to physically do your vital signs taking. And this is a reality. This is already happening in a lot of areas in the Philippines. That company, the chairman of this company is very obsessed with automation. He wants a lot of the processes in his company to be automated. And part of the ecosphere of his companies is an IT company, a health insurance company, a banking company, among others. So he has all the resources to be able to make this a reality. So this is one example of why we have to stay relevant. And I presume it's only a matter of time that your companies also realize that it is doable and replicate the same thing here. Now, another example would be for diagnosing. So, it has already been researched that artificial intelligence can actually predict and diagnose better than humans in some X-ray or radiology findings. So let's try to watch this clip to what Stanford was actually able to do.
There's a global shortage of radiologists. According to the World Health Organization, 2/3 of the planet's population, over 4 billion people, have insufficient access to radiology services. AI can help that.
We developed a deep learning algorithm, which we call chest X, to interpret chest X-ray images that can take as input any chest X-ray image and tell you in this image what are the diseases that are present and what is my algorithm's predicted probability for each of those diseases.
Some examples are mass and nodule or cancerous, cardiomegaly, enlargement of the heart, and pneumonia.
The algorithm is also able to convey some insight into its decision-making process by highlighting for each disease what particular part of the image it's looking at to make its decision.
One of the things that we've done is to leapfrog over a lot of technical and infrastructure hurdles that we would be likely to encounter in any given system and put the algorithm in the power of a smartphone.
When I open the app, I can upload an image of an X-ray or snap a picture right on my phone, and then that image is sent to the cloud and then run through the CheckSnacks algorithm.
We have given this algorithm a very rigorous test, and we had 12 radiologists from around the country participate in this project, and we compared the performance of the algorithm against 9 of them.
The model performed comparative to the radiologist on metrics like accuracy, sensitivity, and specificity. The big difference in their performance was speed. The radiologist took around 4 hours on average to interpret the X-ray images. TextNext can interpret the X-ray images in less than 2 minutes.
Artificial intelligence and machine learning is in the process of transforming healthcare. But for this to work, we need AI specialists as well as medical specialists to work together.
If I were a doctor with a suspicion of a certain disease, I could get a confirmation from the algorithm. Or if I were a clinician who were using this app, the algorithm could direct my attention to something I may have earlier missed.
The ultimate vision, of course, is to have this in the hands of any clinician, anyone in the world who would like to use it. And to do that, we need to do some rigorous testing here at Stanford in the clinical trial format, and that's what we're doing now.
So you can see the AI can actually predict better in terms of some of the diseases, and even much more faster compared to a physician. So a radiologist can predict it in 4 hours, AI can predict it in 2 minutes. So much difference in terms of the ability to diagnose now. And among this would be thoracic imaging, abdominal and pelvic imaging, colonoscopy, mammography, brain imaging, and radiology oncology. Those are the things that AI can actually start to work on. So the video earlier you saw with regards to Humagear, they call it Humagear. I think it's more for the animation or Kamen Rider series terminology. But if you put actually artificial intelligence in a robot, then it's not actually possible to see that kind of thing happening in the future. So this is becoming more interesting as to where do now nurses place themselves in terms of this ever-changing landscape. Because right now, you're studying, right? Some of you are studying. Your competencies, the question would be, will it still be relevant by the time you graduate? So you have to start thinking of the path or the profession or the specialization you want to be in, because you don't want to be in a field or a specialization where nobody needs it anymore because computers can do it for you. Okay. Include some examples also of the non-radiology-based AI in oncology would be dermatology. So I think this is a lot easier because cameras right now are really getting better. So the high resolution image can actually help in determining diseases of the skin. Pathology, especially I think you have now the microscopes which can record now a lot of the activities. Unlike the traditional microscopes where you even have to use manual manipulation, microscopes nowadays are automated. So it's a lot easier to actually do pathologic applications of AI. And RNA and DNA sequencing. So this is actually becoming more common also. So you cannot anymore hide from who your real father is or who your real mother is, because it's becoming more accessible for public right now. This is an example of a technology developed in our country, and it's used for community health. So it's used for the geographically isolated and disadvantaged areas in the Philippines, because like Indonesia, we have many islands. So some areas have poor healthcare access because they are separated from the metro. So they use this RxBox. It's an assessment and diagnosing tool that can actually get a lot of the information, especially maternal health care. So they have tools here that help get the condition of a pregnant mother and send that data to the Philippine General Hospital. So that is seen in the metro. So wherever the person using this sends all data going to the Philippine General Hospital, and the expert in that hospital sends back what to do for the practitioner in the island. So that's how it is currently being utilized. So it has ability to measure your ECG, your vital signs. I think there's also temperature sensors, aside from the BP unit, plus you can actually get your pregnant mother's condition for fetal heart tone, among others. Now also, part of what's happening right now is robotics in nursing. I think you're familiar that some Asian countries has low population or low number of nurses. So we'll try to talk about that. So first, the robotics is also becoming a huge industry. Currently, it's expected to grow by $2.8 billion by 2021. That's only 2 years from now. So a lot of investments are with non-human intervention. For obvious reasons that they cannot predict how many humans can take up nursing, plus some of the labor issues, because you have to pay some benefits or you have to pay a lot for humans to do tasks. So they are actually automating a lot of these manual, simple tasks. So part of it would be surgical robots, which is already present. I'm not sure if you have already here a hospital that has surgical robots utilized. So maybe that's something you would be expecting in the next few years. Rehabilitation robots. So there are also those that aid in rehabilitation, and of course hospital robots. So it's a future where we are going to. Likewise, there's already more segmentation in terms of robotic applications, including these items. And part of the technologies enabling healthcare robots would be gesture control, machine vision, speech, and voice recognition, and tactile sensors. So I think a lot of the companies that are into car manufacturing, like Toyota, Mitsubishi, Honda, they're also into robot manufacturing. So they are experimenting on, like, I think you've seen already robots that can backflip and then they fall on their feet and then can actually walk better compared to the first generation robots. So we are really advancing in terms of technology and as far as robots are concerned. And in a few